So, hello everybody, welcome to Spa for WRS League. Next WRS, WRS League, it's League vs League, and it's XPG here at Spa. Looking dry so far, short qualifying, 6 drivers per side. So let's see who comes out first. Hope everyone is doing well, hope everyone's had a good Sunday thus far. Hope everyone had a fantastic Sunday. Love to see it. Anybody could come out on track, maybe? I don't know, the clock just reset. So. So, according to people in the Discord, it's going to be rain at the start of the race. So this is going to be hopefully an exciting race against XPG team. Let's get my track map all loaded up to make sure we're all good. As I say, I see a Ferrari coming out on track. Looks like it might be Trixty. Trixty. See, it's Corey. Corey's going to be the first one out on track. Track map ready and loaded up. Go. Sarah Adrian, hello, hope you're doing well, mate. Nice to see you. So yeah, so Corey's out on track. There's a McLaren out track. Mr. Alan Toast as well. Out on track, and it's Solar out in front of him. A few more cars leaving the pit lane now. The Alpine of XPG Lim, and then behind him, Lasse Crack as well. So Ian Solar slow. Okay, we'll be the judge of that one, as he's on his out lap now currently. But it is going to be Corey though, who's going to set the benchmark here for this short qualifying session. 6 drivers on each team. So AERT, we have the Mercedes car, or the Aston Martin car of Ronnie, who didn't choose a car. Then we've got the Williams, and then the Alfa Romeos. Hope the audio is all good. I hope everyone can hear me properly. Yeah, it looks like the audio is sounding good through the phone, so that's always good to know. So let's stay on with Corey as he starts his first flying lap here at Spa. Heading up the very iconic O-Region Rally on set of corners. Oh, flat through that part. Now down the Kemmel straight, DRS wide open. Heading towards turn 5, which will be Lecom. Nicely done through there, obviously purple sector. Nobody else has set the time around him. Very nicely done, heading towards... I lost my track map, this is not great. Heading towards, turn 8, then turn 9. Nicely done through there. Careful not to validate on the outside of turn 9. Heading towards P1 now, absolutely flat through there, 7th gear. Nicely done through there, nice and tidy lap from the Ferrari driver so far. Heading towards turn 14 now, sector 2-3 split line to see where he's at. It's about 1:15, which is not a bad time, so the track is quite green. Obviously purple sector. There's a yellow flag. I'm assuming there's somebody getting let past. I don't know, but it's fine. We'll stay on with Corey as he heads towards now the bus stop chicane. Turns 18 and 19. Upshift to 4th. Good exit as well on the way towards the start finish line. It's going to be a 1:43.2. That's the benchmark here so far. Sue's on a lap, then Alan Toast invalidated. Trixie's on an out lap. Where's any of ours on a flying lap? I thought they're all invalidated so far, apart from Ronnie, who should be in a Mercedes. But he's obviously decided to go against what we said. It's fine, all the points matter as he heads through Puon now. Yellow flag, just the driver's getting out of the way at this point. Need to bring up the chat so I can actually be interactive with the stream. To make sure that I'm not causing any issues. Here we are. Hello, make yourself known in chat. Drop in a quick message, we'll give you a quick shout out. Solar puts in a 43.6 in his first attempt. It's a good lap from him. Not a purple sector for Ronnie. Let's see what he can do as he heads towards the bus stop chicane now. Hard on the brakes, quick flick right, quick flick left, and he's through onto the main straight. 143 dead for Trixie. When it comes up to the line now, it's a 143.6. Puts him in P3 for now. Alan Toast for the purple sector 1 in the Williams. Absolutely flying round. Spa. Now, Emod retired from the session. He's crashed. He has crashed. Oh dear. Let's hop on board with one of the Alpines, see what's actually happened. You can see his car. Looks like he's lost it out of turn 6 or turn 7. Dead ahead in that barrier there. So that is not ideal for Emod, one of our drivers. Yet to see him race. Hopefully he can put up a good performance in the race. As we said, Alan Toast managing to keep it out of the wall. But he was on an absolute flyer at this point, so to get back round, get back in the pits, and as BXM27, who we know is Belangland, who before, so that's a 143.9 on a second attempt, I think this is. The ERS isn't going anywhere, so I guess he's on an in-lap. Yeah, ERS is going up, so he's on an in-lap. Trixie with a 44 dead first lap. Alan's host is going to dive into the pits, I think he is, yeah, staying off that racing line. Through there. Last day crack from our last few corners now. Let's see what he can put on the board. He comes up to the finish line. It's going to be a 44 dead. Puts him in P6. There's a yellow flag. There's a slow moving car. So someone getting out of the way. So Toxic yet to set a lap. Alan Tosh yet to set a lap. Who's actually on another fly now as we speak. Trying to put time on the board. Just over 10 minutes remaining in the session. Allied Squire as well on his out lap. He validates out that lap, that is, but see what he can put on the board eventually as he gets round Alan Toast through turn 7 now. Careful not to invalidate on that outside curb, and you can lose the car very easily there. Through he goes. Very neat and tidy as well from Alan Toast. This is our main team for AERT. So let's see what he can do. Go through Poo and he goes nice and flat through there. Only 25% ERS though. Will it be enough to get his car round and put competitive time on the board and get back round? One of the longest laps on the Formula 1 calendar. Ooh, it validates on the round of turn 14, the exit turn 14. It validates his lap, so back into the pits he will go. As a yellow flag, does the car getting out of the way? Allied Squire getting out of the way as Trixie heads into the pits. Corey's on another out lap. Lasse cracks on a invalid in lap. And Toxics for XPG is on a flying lap. See what he can do as he goes through turn 16, 17 now. Heading towards the bus stop chicane for the first time. On a flyer. Quick flick right, quick flick left. Back onto the main straight, back down on the power as soon as you can. Up to the line, it's going to be a 43.9, puts him in P5. So Allied Squire is on a flying lap down the Kemmel straight. He goes heading towards turn 5. Emod says in the chat, straight into the wall. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but hopefully he can make it back up in the race. Grumpy in chat says, give some other guys some racing today and a debut for EMOD. Yeah, it's nice to see some other people, some other faces here for the team, representing the team. Instead of, the likes of Big Lou, Skino, Grumpy, Lux, all those people who are very, very good racers. But they always race all the time. We do have a very stacked main team. So it would be good to see what they can do here today. We'll stay on with Allied Squire as he carries through his lap, his first flying lap. Put time on the board. Looks like he may have a bit of oversteer because he's about 10 seconds down in his time. Freddie in the chat. Hope you're doing well, Mr. Freddie. Nice to see you. Who's on another lap? I think Allied Squire might go again. He is going to go again, so we'll stay on. We'll stay on board with Allied Squire as he sets up for another flying lap here. Email in the chat saying this is a strat season, not the competition. Trying to see where you would be. But hopefully he can make himself some points up in the race. Obviously only top 10 will score points. Very confident for over reason Rajon heading towards a DRS point now. Let's see what sort of top speeds he reaches. He heads towards turn 5 for the first time. Very nicely done through the first sector, turn 7 with a lot of aggression through there. Freddie, I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. Nice sort of relaxed Sunday afternoon. Watching TV as Allied Squire manages to keep his wheels on that car. But we'll hop off with him. It's not embarrassing too much. Corey with a 43 dead, just in front of his teammate by just under half a tenth. Very good lap from Corey there. BX we'll call him. Obviously we do know him as Bill Langland. See if he can make an improvement on a 43.9. Currently P6. Heads towards the bus stop chicane. Quick upshift on the exit, flat on the power, heading towards the start finish line there, holding that inside line. 42.9 for BX. Puts him in provisional pole. Good lap from him. Is Ronnie on a flying lap? We'll hop on with Ronnie. Aiden Rodgers in the chat saying, let's go boys. Hope you're doing well, Aiden, mate. I think it's Hayden. It must be Hayden. Because that's the only thing, that's definitely the only way you spell Hayden. But Ronnie on a flying lap heading through Pouon again in that wonderfully changed Aston Martin car. I love the changes on that car. The Alpine getting out of the way, just about getting out of the way. It was quite close. But 5 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Can anyone top BX? But Lang Lang's up top. We shall see. So somebody has 42.6. That's Trixty. For XPG. Finding a few extra tenths on his time. Ronnie with the purple sector 2. But we saw this yesterday. It was very much of everyone got purple sector 2. But doesn't actually follow through with it. But we'll see as he heads towards the last few corners. 18 and 19. Very late on the brakes as well. Very nice to get that car slowed down. It is Hayden. Good, yeah, good to know. So I really want to 1-1S up. As Ronnie comes up to the line, keeps himself P4 with a 2/10 improvement. Or just under 2/10 improvement, but he keeps himself P4. Which is good, because we start right behind his teammate. Oh no, Alan Toast just tipped him off there. Alan Toast is now up to P4. Lasso cracks on a flying lap. 3/10, nearly 4/10 improvement on his time so far. See what he can do as he heads now through turn 19, back on the power. Keeping that inside line, he heads up to the line now, 43.5, puts him in P6. This is a good start for my team. 4 minutes remain in this session. Allied Squire on another outlap. I would assume we'll be on a fresh set of soft tyres. Hello to 13 people watching the stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Sunday. an end to a good week. And I hope next week is also as good. So, who's actually out on track to set a lap? There's a yellow flag. It is last eight cut in the corners. Don't think you can do that. Whoops. I may have just dropped them in that. Oh well. We'll stay on with Allied Squire as he prepares to put a competitive time on the board in the Williams. So we've seen him obviously yesterday, and we've seen him in double headers a lot. Just unlucky, very, very unlucky sometimes. But let's see if he can make an improvement on 57.8, which I have no doubts he will do. Saving that battery as he heads down to turn 15, the start of the last sector. There's a car in front of him. If that car gets out of the way, which they will. Fantastically done by Alan Toast there. Right, so we'll stay on with Allied Squire as he sets and he gets ready to start an attempt on pole here in Belgium. Let's see, let's get rid of this spectator screen, sorry about that. Hey, Agent Rogers, thank you very much for the tier 1 subscription, much appreciated, bud. Hope you're doing well. Much appreciated for the sub. There's a car right behind Allied Squire. Hopefully he's not on a lap. He's not. He's only on an out lap, so that's fine. Up through region rally on he goes. Down the Camel Straight. See if he can keep the car on track. So he comes up to the line. 3/10 improvement on his time. Obviously, sector 1 doesn't really matter around it, so it's all in a straight line. It's all about what you can do through sector 2 and sector 3. Through turn 7 he goes. Just joined AERT, so go show some love. Yeah, Aiden, really appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Welcome you with open arms. Hope to see you on track soon. Originals, hey Ducati, how's it going, mate? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Hope the snow isn't too bad. Anyway, Allied Squire heading through turn 12 now. See, he's got a little bit of traffic in front of him, but there's cars in front of him as he heads through turn 14, turn 15 now. 7-second improvement. Only put him at a 150. Let's see what we can do for the last sector. He's going to get a little bit of a distant tow from the Alfa Romeo in front, maybe? Potentially. I think Alfa Romeo might be a bit too far in front there. Not very well planned from the team there. I'm not blaming anybody. Also, I've got to keep a non-bias thing on this stream because there's XPG drivers watching. As Allied Squire comes up to the line now, it's going to be a 44.8, puts him in P10. But I know he's got time in that lap. But I think that could be all he can do. P10 is definitely better than starting last. It's a good lap from Allied Squire, 26 seconds remaining in this qualifying session. Alan Toast and Ronnie happy with their times. Bilang's on another flying lap, and it's an attempt at pole position as the yellow flags the car getting out of the way. So we'll stay on with BX as he heads towards turn 5 for the final time here in qualifying. Very smooth through the little start sector 2. Through turn 8 he goes, nice little slow looping corner. It's qualifying over. So these last laps now matter massively for both the teams here. But all eyes now currently on BX M27. As he goes through P1, a little bit wide through P1, but he manages to keep the power down and keep it flat through that corner. His light is flashing. So he's maybe run out of fuel, maybe he's not put enough fuel in. So let's see what he can do. Through turn 14, 13 he goes. 14 hits the sector 2 line now. It's a he validates on the exit at turn 14. That is his lap done. His attempt at pole gone with the win. There's an Alpine that has crashed. Corey has also crashed on the exit of 14. Everyone's crashing out here. Let's see what I think Allied Squire's just on an in lap. He is. Who could really put it on pole now? Can Trixie make an improvement on his time? He gets a purple sector 2, of course. Here's a guy out in front. Can he make an improvement on a 42.6? Make an impact here in the Ferrari. So what we can do is he comes up to the bus stop, chicane for the final time here in qualifying turn 19 now. Back on the power as soon as he possibly can. Holds that inside line. Comes up to the line, it's for 42.4. That is, and probably should be, the pole lap. Solar puts himself into P3 with a 33 dead. 43 dead, sorry. And Toxic comes up to the line now. What's he going to put on the board? A 43.3, puts himself P6. Then Trixie is invalidated. Or has invalidated. So we hold the midfield here massively. So, and then as Trixie comes up to the line, a bit of a spin through the final corner, but that is that for qualifying. Very well done, very close qualifying from our drivers. Nicely done. So, XPG do have the advantage up top, but AERT does have the advantage in the midfield. Unfortunate there for BX, who unfortunately validated his lap at turn 14. But it's all about what you can do in the race. So, Trixie, and then BX and I Solar for XPG, takes the top 3. Corey, Alan Toast, and Toxic, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Ronnie, Lasse, and Trixie, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Ally Squire, XPG, Lim, and Emod, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Good qualifying session here. Let's see what we can do in the race. Mr. I shoots in chat as well, saying decent quality for both teams. It is, and look at that conditions. Look at those conditions. Wow, that is wet. So wet setups were definitely on by looks of it. Maybe for the drivers, if I can get an insight on that in the chat, that'd be grand. But I think we're going to take a short break, so I'm also going to take a short break and have a drink. So spare me 2 seconds, Wigs. Thank you for that, folks. 15 seconds before we start the race. Let's see what our boys can put on track. Formation lap should be on, which it is. So this will be our chance. Full wet tyres are on most cars, so it's full wet conditions. As Ronnie and Lasse take each other out in the formation lap, which is not ideal. They're going to start on some very, very cold, wet tyres. Let's see what our boys can put on the board as we head around Spa. This very, 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 very wet. So we'll bring up everything we need to see. We'll put on some tyres. I think it's all going to be wet. It's all wet tyres from here. Very long formation lap, so Ronnie and Lassie got to sit there for a while whilst the rest of the drivers go around the track. 1 or 2 stop is going to be wet all the way through, supposedly. If I can get some insight on that in the chat, that'd be grand. And I'll have a quick look at Discord, see what Discord's saying. So, no insight in the chat. Need to know if it's raining throughout the race or not, or there's going to be a massive crossover point. I'd like to see a crossover point. I reckon we're going to lose a few people up Eau Rouge as well. Eau Rouge and the wet is very, very, very scary. So, take your time through there. Massive. McLaren goes awfully wide there. According to Aiden, wet into dry, so it looks like it's going to be a... It might dry out towards the end, so we might get a crossover point. As we see the Ferrari of Trixty get some heat into those rear tyres to get a good start away. According to the last end of Discord, it was saying it's going to dry up towards the end of the race, so hopefully there is a crossover point. Let's see who gets it right and who gets it wrong. It's very easy to get it wrong. It pays off really well if you get it right. Look at that beautiful Alfa Romeo of BXM27. Eyeing up his opponent very quick there, as we saw. But let's see. This is a very bad camera angle for the start. As we get 5 red lights. 5 red lights. And we are underway. BMX and Trixty both get a drive-through penalty for a jump start. Otherwise, they both got away really well. Fantastic start from both of them. Solar and Corey and Alan Toast go side by side through turn 1. Looks like Alan Toast got the move done though. There's a Mercedes off out wide. Ronnie dropped back in position as well. Ronnie made up in position from the start. He's got an Alpine right behind him. Everyone's taking Eau Rouge with absolute caution. So everyone seems to have gotten away well. Alan Toast up into P3. What a fantastic start for him in these wet conditions as we go nearly 3 abreast into turn 4. Turn 5. Nicely tidy through there, but both top 2 have now got a drive through, so now it's kind of the race for the lead at this point. As inside goes Corey, manages to keep the car out of the wall though. Seems to be a spinning Mercedes at the back. Looks like it's last day crack. There's a yellow flag. That is last day crack. But fantastic start from Alan Toast there. Up into P3, taking the net lead of this race as both drivers at the top will have to serve drive-throughs. Through goes Alan Toast into P2. Teammate letting him through. Fantastic work there from those two. Careful not to hold each other up. So now it's Alan Toast, who seems to be an absolute wet weather fanatic here at Spa. Fantastic start for him. Only a 1.8 second gap already though to find. As BMX defends from Corey behind him with absolute inch precision. Absolutely throwing it down here at Spa. Some good camera angles from the game. XPG and EMOD pretty much going side by side. No, maybe not. I lied. Just the Delta things going wrong. As XPG hits the wall there and he crashes out. That is his race over. No, he's still got a front wing. This should allow last day crack through, which it does. Let's see the battle up top now. Corey and BXM, sorry. Getting very close together as Trixty takes his drive through now. Maybe that might be the right idea. Oh no, Trixty pits. Guess he didn't mean to do that. But he has got rid of his drive through though, I think, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. As BXM's going to be an absolute boss now. It's got 3 second gap to the car in front, holding up the rest of the pack fantastically here. Off goes Corey, nearly hitting the wall. Again, taking the skate road back onto the track, bumping wheels with his teammate. I'm sure the boss won't like that one. But yeah, looks like Trixty got rid of it. Oh no, Trixty didn't serve his drive-through. He pitted. You can't serve in a safety car VSC conditions. Maybe it might have been a yellow flag. Yeah, well spotted, Hayden. In the chat, it might have been a yellow flag as he went into the pits due to XPG Lim Hui, maybe? I don't want to butcher his name. I'm terrible with pronouncing names here on the F1 community. But 2.3 seconds now the gap to BXM and then Alan Toast out in front. Absolutely calm as you like in front. So taking out Trixty from this race currently, but BXM does have to pit until his drive-through though, which will release Corey into this pack. And then you got Toxic right behind him. Ronnie is second behind them. Obviously no DRS because due to the weather conditions. But, ooh, Toxic getting very slidey out turn 13 there. Managing to keep it on the road though. Again very slidey out turn 14. The conditions are very tough. For our drives, Alan Toast miles out in front. 2.6 seconds the gap now. Nothing really to report on track as little gaps now start to form. Nothing worth making a move for, though, because if you make a move in the way and get it wrong, you're going to take yourself out and the guy in front of you out. Does BXM service drive through now? He's not going to. He's going to wait till the last lap, so he has to do it. To take it, Alan Toast gets fastest lap of this race as a 2:05, lap 3 out of 22. Here, maybe it might start raining at some point. There's a yellow flag. It seems to be XPG out of the race. Last it cracked the 2:05 dead as well. XPG Lim out of the race down at turn 14. So where it is, it won't bring out the safety car. He leaves the session there, unhappy with his performance. That takes one driver from XPG out, gives AERT the advantage. Here, I can't be biased. I don't think I can be biased on commentary. I don't know. Depends how the bosses feel about that one. But will Corey make a move into turn 5? No, he won't. He's just that too far back. But 3 seconds now, the gap in front. But just remember that BXM will have to service drive through this lap. He definitely needs service drive through this lap, or he will be disqualified from the session, which will even out the playing field for both teams. Allied Squire and Emod just swap places, but I think that was a bit more of a tactical move. They don't want them to race here, because if one of them takes the other out, that's going to be quite embarrassing for the team. So we'll just hop off that to save any embarrassment anyway. Corey still on the back of BXM, but he does have to pit, so 3 seconds of gap in front. When will the rain start easing off? I'd love to know. There's another yellow flag. It seems to be Allied Squire down at turn 11. Very unfortunate there. Drops him down a place. The traction here is it's just near enough. It doesn't exist. Trying to get the power down here is going to be an absolute struggle, especially for these main team drivers. The only assists allowed are line and ABS, so there's no chance of any traction control here. As last say crack, it's a bit of a struggle out of turn 16. BXM does pit, which is good. We'll service drive through penalty. Now bunks everyone up a place, but it does release Corey though into the path of Alan Toast. 3.9 seconds of gap, 4 seconds as we speak. BXM pits, which is not. He doesn't pit. Has he put fresh tyres on? Let's see quickly. No, it's just a drive-through. You steered that drive-through nicely, so he gets right into the path of Lasse Crack. So now BXM now on the attack. No assist go up top. Alan Toast absolutely flying out in front of 4 seconds. The gap to the car behind. Looking in a very comfortable position is the Williams car there. There's Lasse Crack and BXM swap places at the top of the Camel Straight. But now Toxic and Corey going very close together. This could be a driver swap to let the other guy have a go, see if he can make any more progress. But whilst these two are having a little tussle here, Alan Toast is out in front, absolutely flying. So, Ronnie very, very comfortable up in P4. And Solar as well down in P5 with a bit of a gap to his teammate behind. But Ronnie seems like he's struggling for traction around here, so Solar is closing up quite quickly, but I have no doubt was Toxic has a little bit of a slide out of turn 13. Turn 14, sorry. Emod up to 7th, even catching up to the back of Trixie. Looking to try and make a move, using that battery on the Alfa Romeo car to try and close that gap a little bit more. So obviously the rain is still absolutely flowing it down here at Spa. Alan Toast with a 2:01.4 fastest lap. He's absolutely flying out in front. What, 4 seconds now the gap to the car. Keep an eye on Emod, catching Trixie very quickly. Currently on with Emod. He is absolutely flying, heading towards turn 1 for the 5th time this race. Closing that gap, 10th by 10th through every single corner. It could be the striking distance toward the end of the lap as well. I've only had the striking distance graphic, but the F1 game doesn't really like that. Now gap down to under a second now. Absolutely flying is Emon in the other Alfa Romeo now, burning his battery a little bit. 3 tenths to go up now. See if he can make a move into turn 5. He doesn't. Maybe he's not the wisest thing to do. As I got a terrible camera angle here. There we go. Almost side by side through turn 7, but then the lead down now to turn 8. Will he consider making a move? Oh, he loses it. I'm not trying to consider a move into turn 8, but he manages to keep it out the wall and still keep it within the second gap. So he'll have another attempt, another try at that one. He managed to do really well to keep that out of the wall. So he will go again to try and make the move. Corey and Toxic out in front. Still only 4/10 between them, dragging each other along. The rain seems to be easing off slightly. So look, the rain is easing off slightly. But the track is still very wet. You see the times slowly dropping lap by lap. 4.8 seconds now. The gap to Alan Toast in front. He's absolutely flying. Is the man from Spain, Alan Toast. See if back onto E-Mod, he's now 8/10 behind Alan Toast, 2 minute .4, found a whole second on his time, I think that was. So the conditions are drying up, which will put these tyres into play a little bit more. As Trixie pits, is he going on to Inters? Is he making the early call? We will see. Track is drying up very quickly though. The rain is now basically stopped. Let's see what he does. Intermediate Sugo on that McLaren, so that's a massive gamble. Gives E-Mod the position though. So Alan Toast is from Puerto Rico, not Spain, but he's got the Spanish flag. That's Toxic, that's the fastest purple sector 1. 5.3 seconds now, the gap. Corey and Toxic dragging each other along, but you don't want to get Corey to get in the way of Toxic here. So let's see if they swap positions anytime soon. Alan Toast still 5 seconds out in front, cruising in that Williams. Ronnie very comfortable in P4 as well. And obviously you got Solar behind, you got E-Mod tracking Solar down. Let's say Crack as well. BXM. Toxic with a 3 second time punish for multiple warnings, so Ronnie can push it a little bit more. Get within that 3 second gap. I think he's just realised. So he's taking the gap down a little bit now. So, will we see Trixie improving? It seems to be taking a lot of time out of the car in front on those intermediate tyres. As Corey sets the fastest purple sector 2. It could be the crossover point. It might be worth one of the AERT drivers boxing and trying to see if it's actually going to be worth it. Trixie's taking a lot of time out of Trix D for P10. So it could be worth making the stop. Alan Toast has stopped. And so has Toxic, which gives the race lead to Corey. Alan Toast knows something we don't know. 1:59 for us. Another second taken off the lap. So it's definitely now drying up. Ronnie pits, Solar pits. E-Mod's going to stay out. That's a Crack pits, as does BXM's. This is the first crossover point of this race. And Allied Squire also pits, which will give Trixie down in 11th in that McLaren a hell of a lot of track position here. He makes his way through the last corner now. Let's see where he actually comes out to head towards turn 1. So Alan Toast 12 seconds behind the car in front. Trixie puts himself onto P7, I think that is. But the guys behind him are on fresher tyres as well. 1 lap fresher tyres. So yeah, this is the first crossover point of the race. Will there be another one? We don't know. Alan Toast now trying to track down Corey. Only 12 seconds separates them though. So intermediate might be the best shot for Trixie. Caught it fantastically. As Alan Toast taking tenths and tenths and tenths out of Corey. Yes, as E-Mod spins on the exit of turn 7. Oh no, he's looking really good as well. Struggling to get that car back on track as well. Drops him down to P7 on the wet tyres as well. He'll have to pit. See if he dams him, assuming he's engineer slash team leader has left the session. 11.1 seconds now the gap to Corey, so he's now dropping as we speak. 10.9 through every single corner. He's finding tenths of a second. So it looks like Alan Toast is absolutely cruising around here now. Sets a purple sector 2, so it's definitely changed over points. So I think Emod and Corey may have got this wrong. But, you know, we're only 7 laps in out of 22. Anything can happen now. So Emod and Corey do need to pit. 7.9 seconds now the gap. So as Corey pits, this will give Alan Toast a fantastic amount of space. 5.8 seconds. He might have gained about a second on the stops. As Alan Toast takes the lead of this race. That's purple sector 3 as well, so he's on an absolute flyer. So the gap to the car behind is, when we sort it all out, it's about 6.1 seconds now. So he's managed to find a second or so in the pit stops. Fantastic. Trixie sets a 57.2 fastest lap now. As the rain still coming down, but very light now. The track is drying out. More and more and more as the drivers fly round here. As Emod pits as well as Dams has managed to make his way back in. And Emod drops his way down to last place. But Ronnie is getting very close to the back of Corey for P3. Obviously, Corey's still trying to warm up his intermediate tyres. Ronnie on the more warm tyres. It's going to be very close and very, very tight here as we head towards turn 8. Corey just seems to be pulling away a little bit now. He's managed to find his speed there. Ronnie can comfortably stay in P4 though. Let's see, that's a Crack and BXM are getting very close together, but that's not getting, nothing's going to happen from that. Trixie and Allied Squire down for P9 through turn 8 we go. Still 12 viewers watching, which is very, very good. More than we got on the Tier 1 stream yesterday, as Allied Squire pulling that gap. So just about 6/10 as I speak. The gap to Corey from Ronnie's gone up to about a second now, so that's kind of out of the picture for now. This is the only real battle on track between both teams. So Allied Squire needs to defend that position for his life currently. We are 4 followers away from 200 followers as well. So if you are new around here, please consider dropping a follow. We do stream quite a lot with the esports races going on. And obviously then our final round of our Tier 1 and 2 this weekend. Which I'll be doing, I think, both comms for maybe. I have to see what I'm doing on the day, but pretty sure I'll be doing both finales. Definitely the Tier 1 finale. I think me and Ducati will be doing the Tier 1 finale at Abu Dhabi. But anyway, that's on Saturday. That's a week away. Or 6 days away. So the gap is still holding that 7/10 mark between Trixie and Allied Squire. Ooh, snap of oversteer from Allied Squire out of turn 1. Makes us a little bit vulnerable to Trixie behind, who got quite a decent exit out of turn 1. Through Origin Radio on we go. For the 9th time here. Good exit from Trixie, who will use a bit of his battery to make the move down into turn 5, following in that slipstream. Tries to go round the outside before the corner's even there. He does. I can't see because the game's going to be a terrible camera angle. Looks like Trixie definitely got the move done, but Allied Squire won't take that lightly. Back on the attack he goes. Allied Squire looking like he's all over the place. 2/10 separates these two. So in the chat saying, let's go Emod. He's about 16 seconds down, but he's kind of... He's at the back, he's chilling. He needs to push himself forward though. 5/10 now separates Trixie and Allied Squire for P9. Nothing really else happening on track. There's comfortable gaps begin to form. A snap of oversteer from Trixie there, which will give Allied Squire a bit more momentum. 4.5 now through turn 14. Sorry, we go. 2 more followers to 200 followers. We can hit 200 followers on the stream. It'd be fantastic. If Trixie picks up a 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's his last 8 Crack. Corey sets a fast lap of this race, 55.1. So we can get these 2 more followers on the stream. It would be fantastic. If you are new around here, please consider dropping a follow. It really would help us out and help us boost to our next achievement here, AERT. Now I've got the new console. Hopefully I won't get any more audio issues. Maybe just a few visual issues until we get the internet sorted, which will definitely get sorted soon. Because I'll make sure of it. I'll make sure it happens. So you'll probably hear my voice a lot more now. It's really not a bad thing. Depends how annoying you think my voice is, but hey, get used to it. I think. Just get used to it. So 7/10 still the gap to the Ferrari in front from Allied Squire. 6/10. 6.5 as I speak, but he's too far back to consider making a move though. 35% ERS, but the Ferrari does have pretty much double that. He's not really using it, so looking trying to pull away. As Allied Squire is trying to keep on the back of that Ferrari. We'll stay on with these two, because that's the closest battle we kind of got on track. Alan Toast 5.2 seconds in front, kind of holding that with 5.1, 5.2 second gap. But second and third do belong to XPG so far, with Corey pulling away from Ronnie. So 12, 13 laps remain here. Still raining. Will we get onto a dry tyre run? I'd like to see that. And obviously Trixie got it right the first time, up in P6, just behind his teammate. Well, not just behind his teammate, he's quite behind his teammate, but as BXM is catching Trixie so far, we'll get rid of the pit stop graphic and bring up the position change graphics. Alan Toast up 4, as is Toxic. Ronnie up 3, Corey up 1 place, Solar down 2 places, Trixie up 3 places, BXM down 5 places, and Trix D in the Ferrari down 8 places. So there, the gap now under a second. We'll jump on with this battle now between BXM and Trixie. F1 Rise says, sign me and you'll get 2 more followers. Grumpy, I'll let the boss man decide that, my friend. Is Toxic picks with 3-second time penalty, which gives Alan Toast a bit of breathing room, as much more breathing room as he's possibly got. 6.6 seconds now the gap. So the gap is now really up to about 10 seconds at this point. Alan Toast very comfortable out in front as we hit the halfway point in this Grand Prix now. So BXM get on very close to the back of Trixie. Man, he started from P2, trying to get himself back up the grid after that drive-through penalty. Still getting very close. He's closing down by the corner. Head through Poo-on, goes a little bit wide on the entrance of Poo-on there. Lucky not to get a warning or a penalty from that. But yeah, the gap is kind of hanging around that kind of 5/10, 6/10, 7/10. Oh no, he's made a bit of a mistake. 8/10 to a second now, so that's a crack, kind of keeping behind his teammate there. Let's see, BXM's got a lot of VRS, as does Trixie as well, so they'll both be using it down 16 and turn 17. BXM trying to get back onto the back of the McLaren, back onto that gearbox, but now this gap just kind of lingering in that 1 second mark. Very, very late on the brakes goes BXM, 8/10, 7/10 as we speak, as it heads to start their lap 12. Now Latte Crack's also just hanging on in the background. So has it stopped raining? It has fully stopped raining in Sector 1. So I think there might be a dry turnover point. When it will be the crossover point, as BXM 4.5 tenths the gap now, 5 tenths on the exit of the corner. Solar's caught to the back of Ronnie. As Ronnie picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which will hurt his race ever so slightly. But Solar, is right on the back of him. 9 tenths the gap there, but we're going to stay on with BXM and Trixie. Kind of the closest one we got at the minute, apart from obviously Lasse and BXM. But they're not going to fight, I hope. So 9 tenths. I look at the wrong one. But it's going to hang around that second mark. He's struggling to get up close to him. I say Crack's still there in the background though. We shall see. Hope everyone is enjoying the stream so far. We're just over the halfway point. It seems to be a very good race so far. A very mix of drivers in all of each places. So Slowest driver you'll ever meet. I don't know if you met me. That's why I do comms and I don't race. Because I've got a loud voice, but my driving ability is terrible. So far for second now. The gap is Anatoly set to 54.8. Gap's now down to 5.4 seconds. BXM's now getting very, very close to the McLaren in front of him. Later on the brakes into the bus stop chicane gives him that momentum. But it seems Trixie gets a lot better corner exits. Can't get my words out. Got a lot more confident on his corner exits. Back on the power. Heads towards turn 1. Will stay on board with BXM. He tries to make his makes a move up into P6. Takes that away from the McLaren. Burning his battery out of corner exit, which is probably what I used to do. Got a little momentum out of the corner. 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 4.5 tenths, kind of hanging on that mark. Both drivers using their battery. I want to know who's going to make the first jump onto slick tyres, because it stopped raining, but the track still looks very greasy. Hop off board there, so it's not too loud in everybody's ears. So yeah, the gap's still about that 3.5 tenth mark, 2.5 tenths as we go through the exit of that corner. Turn 9. Still very close between these two. As I like squad to a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So, can B Langlangs make the move? Biding his time nicely, trying to use a traction of. The point's very close at the minute. As Dams says, it's 53.48 XPG at this time. So all it needs is a few position changes and it might bring the points around. So as Corey dives into the pits, and so does Solar. So is it time to put on the slick tyres? It'll have to be probably hard if we're going to go to the end. Let's see what Corey put on. We'll jump on with that. Mediums go on both cars, but they might, or they will definitely go to the end. So the crossover point is now. Did Corey get it right? As Alan Toast also kind of got this wrong. But let's see where Corey comes out, see what the gaps sort of say as he comes out on those medium times. Was it a lap too early, or was it maybe just right? As the gap is kind of staying around that 1.7 second mark. The Trixie, the car in front. But the rest of from P5 down to P10 of all pits, so it's definitely time to cross over. But Corey is still losing time to the car in front though. I know the tyres are cold, but surely they'll be working now. Maybe the track's still a little too greasy. Gap down. DRS has now been enabled, so that's definitely now the crossover point. There's E-Mod pits as Corey picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So, Alan Toast, Toxic, Ronnie and Trixie all need to pit. Trixie, who got it right the first time, may have got it wrong the second time. It's definitely going to throw the order around a little bit. So E-Mod picks up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, down in 11th, 21 seconds behind the rest of the pack. A quick sip of my drink there. As Alan Toast and Toxic are both in the pits. 16 viewers now in this stream. So you're new around here. We are like 2 followers away from 200. So if you're new around here, please consider dropping a follow. Where will Alan Toast come out in conjunction to Corey? Out in front. By an absolute country mile by looks of it. Purple sector. 3 for Corey. As Mano in the chat says Suey. Thanks for that, Mano. Still around that 5-second gap. To Alan Toast to Toxic behind. Alan Toast doing a bit of weaving on the straight. Obviously that's not dangerous because there's no cars behind him. So we won't get penalised for that. It's BXM. And it looks like Solar managed to overtake Ronnie in the pit stops. Ronnie now trying to get some heat into those tyres. So now it's going to be an all-out battle now. Who's obviously going to be quicker on the dry tyres? We saw Alan Toast absolute domination up top as Corey and Toxic swap places. So this will be Corey's chance now with a 3-second time penalty as well. So he's got to find about 8 seconds, nearly 9 seconds in the last 7-8 laps of this race. But things seem to be swapping around now. So the gap still kind of remains at that 5-second point as Ronnie needs to catch up to the car in front. So, well, nothing really happening on track as such, so we'll keep an eye on Ronnie. He's going to try and make his attempt to catch up. Can I show the position changes? Of course I can, Mano, just for you, my friend. I can bring that up. There we go, leave that up for a few minutes so you can read that. 146.2 for Corey. Sets the fastest lap of this race so far. Puts the extra point in the XPG camp. So now all down to kind of Ronnie and the cars behind. See, XPG got second, third and fourth at this point. The rest of the grid is kind of set up by AERT. As Trixie sets fastest lap of 45.8. Here, so again the point is still in XPG's camp, so someone you might want to take that away. I'd probably say E-Mod, but we'll see. 2.5 second gap now. The gap is dropping to Solar in front. Seems to be Ronnie's finding his rhythm, finding his pace. Gap kind of hanging around that 2.4 second mark. People arguing in the chat saying who's the GOAT. No, I'm not going to say who the GOAT is, but everyone knows my opinions. 2.3 now, the gap, as Solar's got no ERS. But Ronnie behind does have 62% and he is dropping through the corners, so let's see if Ronnie can catch up. 1.9 seconds down the gap. DRS is now enabled. Has been enabled the last few laps, so if he needs to get in that DRS range, which will be fantastic. 1.7 seconds is the gap now. Still around that 1.7 second mark, and head towards the bus stop chicane. Yet again in the Aston Martin. 1.7 seconds is the gap. Now they're going to be a lot more confident in the corner exits now, so this will show everybody's true pace. As the only PC driver here in this lobby. 1.3 seconds now the gap, as Solar makes a little bit of a mistake out of turn 1, which will give a bit more momentum to Ronnie behind. 1 second now, 1.1 second as we speak. Up Eau Rouge they go. There's a yellow flag. It looks like it's E-Mod down at turn 14 or 15. Looks like Ronnie's got himself into gear a little bit now. He is pushing 1.2 seconds the gap. So okay, nicely done. So 1.2 seconds the gap, kind of hanging around that mark. 4.8 seconds the gap to Alan Toast out in front. He's absolutely cruising. Sarge in the chat saying a rigid goat. Thank you, Sarge. Never been called a rigid goat before, but hey, you learn something. You get told something every day. 4-point difference now. The gap to both teams is getting close. But XPG should still walk away with this. It all depends on what Ronnie can do at this point, and it will bring BXM into play towards the end of the race as well. Gap now down to less than a second, which is what he needs. He stays behind within that second gap to get DRS down the main short little straight. The gap's still hanging around that second mark, but he's just past the DRS detection zone, so he will get DRS down this first little straight, which should give him DRS down the Kemmel straight, which is be absolutely massive as we go down heading towards turn 1. The gap's still kind of around that second mark. It needs to be a bit later on the brakes and get down within that second mark, which he does. He needs to keep it under that second mark towards the DRS detection zone. Just before Eau Rouge, which he does. He's 9/10 away, so he's still in that DRS zone. It's a good race. I've got to tune him more often. Definitely, Zed said, UJO. We're only getting very close now. The gap down to half a second as we head towards turn 5. Purple sector 1 for Ronnie. He's absolutely flying. No ERS on that McLaren, but 27% left on the Aston Martin. 5 laps to go here at Spa. Can Ronnie make the move to draw this race out on the points? So, 3/10 now the gap. Ronnie pulling some pace out of absolutely nowhere. His wet pace wasn't as strong, but now he seems to find some pace. 1.6 seconds now. Sorry, 2/10, 1.600. Oh no, as we speak too soon. Ronnie got on the curb at Pouon. That's not what we wanted, it's not what we needed, but it does bring BXM into play now. It's 7 seconds behind. Commentator's curse? No, it wasn't. I didn't say he was going to spin. But that is kind of is unfortunate for Ronnie. He was looking very strong as well. So we need some sort of miracle to happen here. We need to take the fastest lap away from them. Take that extra point out of their camp, but the gap 7.7 seconds to P4 in front. It's been a very monumental task to do that in 3 racing laps. So I don't know. I think XPG might take the win on this one. There's a gap down to 7.5 seconds, hanging around that 7.5 second mark, and there's no ERS in the battery that McLaren is flashing. Well, he's still got a massive gap. Obviously, penalties do come into play, but the gap now down to 3.5 seconds to Alan Toast with a 3-second penalty in front. But the way it is now, everyone should stay really in their places. Apart from maybe Trixty, he could bump himself up quite the way if he carries on where he is and keep pushing forward. 6.7 seconds the gap now to the car in front. I think it might be too little too late for Bid Lang Langs. So 3 racing laps to push like an absolute... I don't know what, I can't swear yet. But yeah, BXM needs to push, but 6.5 seconds now. 3 racing laps to go. 2.5 racing laps to go. Will he get within? Let's see what the penalties are like. I'll jump on that stat now. There's a yellow flag. It's Ronnie again, which brings Trixie into play, and Trix D. Drops Ronnie down to P9, but there are the penalties there. So we could drop down a few drivers. It's getting second in 2 sectors. He did, yes. 6.2, 2 laps to go here at Spa. But that is the penalties on screen. So it looks like could be a comfortable XPG win here if the things stay the way they are. BXM not taking that much time off anymore. This could be the final positions now for the teams. There's nothing really happening currently. As long as Ronnie can stay within 3 seconds. Or maybe not, no, he's got a penalty. So, yeah. This could be the nail in the coffin for AERT here. Anything can happen in these next 2 racing laps, though, so... There's last correct position, another 3-second time penalty. That brings him up to 9 seconds worth of penalties. I'll drop him down quite the way as we stay on with BXM, who's only managed to find a 10th through the 1st and 2nd sectors. Nothing else really happening on track apart from teammates getting close to each other, so we'll stay on with BXM. Okay, get that down to 6 seconds, 5.9. I think if he had a few extra racing laps, he might have done it, but Last say cracks have dropped down quite a way as well, so XPG could walk away with this one here, but the gap to Alan Toast in front is 2.7 seconds, 2.8 seconds now. Corey with no ERS, 3 seconds. We do have a 3-second time penalty, so it could be a very comfortable win here for Alan Toast if all stays as it is. Emod's just gone into the pits. I'm assuming he's got a set of fresh softs. So I'm going for the fastest lap of this race. So 5.9 seconds now the gap to Solar in front, but just going to be too little too late. Yeah, nothing really happening. So 5.9 seconds, still that gap. Just over a lap and 3/4 left to go. Needs some, AERT needs some sort of miracle now to win this little competition here at Spa. Been a good showing by Alan Toast as well. Very, very good performance by him. Obviously, BXM, also good performance. Last say crack with 9 seconds worth of penalties though. Up in P6. Ronnie showing some good pace. The 45.2 gets the fastest lap. That brings that bow out with XPG's camp. Let's bring it in our camp next. It's currently P11. There's a yellow flag. Is that Allied Squire? It is down at turn 8. I think he'll stay where he is. He's in the car for another 40 seconds behind him. So he's comfortable. He's cosy. It's 5 seconds now. The gap to Solar in front. Definitely going to be too little too late as we start the final lap of this race. Don't think anything's going to change unless we have a last lap heroic from somebody, or last lap spin from somebody. Anything can happen, especially at Spa. So we go. Allied Square picks up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but it's not really going to matter too much. Let's see, 5.3, 5.4 seconds now as BXM picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That has pretty much finished his opportunity there. Again, nothing really happening. Ronnie could consider making a move. Trixie, that is Allied Squire again on the last corner. But again, he's very comfortable behind as Emod spins out of turn 15. Ronnie is getting quite close to Trixie in front as Dams leaves the session. He's happy with his team's performance here. 1.2 seconds of gap. Obviously, Trixie gets another penalty. That's it. That'll be an extra place for Ronnie. 1 second now the gap. Obviously, they both got penalties, so it could be down to the last few corners here. But we're going to jump on with Alan Toast quickly. Led from the start. Fantastic start from the start, every changeable condition. He takes the win here in Spa. Corey not that far behind, 6/10 now the gap to Trixie and Ronnie. So they've both got the same amount of VRS as well. They're both going to burn it down this last straight. Can Ronnie make the move? We'll bring an extra couple of points to the AERT camp. I think he might be a bit too far behind. Could it be a last corner dive? Let's see, 2/10. Defends the inside, massive dive down the outside. Could Ronnie get the move done? Pushes around the inside. It's going to be a photo finish, I think, but Ronnie might take it. Ronnie is going to take it. Ronnie does take that place. A good final finish there from them two. And then we just need Allied Squire and Emod to finish their respective laps, but Emod's only going through turn 9 now, so good race from XPG, good race from all of our guys here. So I think Emod's going to go for another fastest lap here with 16% DRS. But I think XPG might have taken this race home with them, but fantastic drive from Alan Toast to take the win of his race. He should be very proud of himself. Emod picks up another 3-second time penalty to multiple warnings, which will pretty much cancel out his fastest lap attempt. Down in 11th, but only losing one driver though. very good showing from our drivers here. So I think XPG might have taken the win here. So congratulations to them. Fantastic drive from Corey and Toxic as well. As we go across the line now, Emod does some donuts, so we're not going to show that because as we finish the race. Driver of the day will obviously go to goes to Corey, not Alan Toast. Okay, that's interesting. We'll skip the podium. We'll see the podium. So we'll go through the final standings now. Alan Toast starts from 5th and finishes P1. I don't know why he didn't get driver of the day. Because Corey only got 2 places, but Alan Toast went up to 3. But oh well. Corey gets P2, Toxic gets P3, and Solar gets P4 to lock out them points for XPG. Then BXM with a good drive to P5. Trixie and Lasso Crack 6th and 7th. Ronnie and Trixie in 8th and 9th. Allied Squire and Emar to take out the last 2 places, and unfortunately unable to finish. XPG Lim. So I just want to thank everybody for watching. I thank everyone for the follows as well. Hopefully we can hit the target next stream. I appreciate all the nice comments and stuff. I appreciate everyone in the chat as well, keeping the chat lively. And we will be live at some point again this week for another esports race. It depends if I do it or not. It could be Shoots, it could be Jelly, it could be Ducati, it could be me, it could be any of our commentators. But I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a good night, guys. Take care and peace.